More skeletons tumble out of recent farmer, the manufacturer of banned cold reef cough syrup. India Today's exclusive ground investigation inside recent farmer plant in Kanchipuram has revealed several lapses. The plant reveals alarming lapses that may have contributed to the deadly cold reef cough syrup tragedy. The facility found in shocking disrepair with no proper ventilation, inadequate waste disposal, chemical solvents carelessly stored under the blazing sun in spite of safety warnings, basic hygiene standards ignored, dust and debris scattered throughout the production area. To make matters worse, the factory is located right next to a busy highway, constantly exposed to dust and pollution. More in this report.
Kanchipuram-based recent pharmaceuticals that manufactures the killer cold reef syrup that's consumed by children is under severe scrutiny after the deaths of 16 children in India, 14 in Madhya Pradesh and 2 in Rajasthan after the consumption of this killer cough syrup. And we are reporting from this killer plant over here, this exact plant where the cold reef syrup is being manufactured. In fact, Tamil Nadu's Drug Inspection Unit also found over 350 violations from the absence of air handling units and ventilation to rusted equipment and products stored in dusty corridors. I just want to show you the design and the layout of this particular plant. Just take a look at how unhygienic this whole area is. It's completely ill-maintained, not given attention to at all. Just the kind of unhygienic atmosphere that we are reporting from. In fact, as I report, I can actually feel and smell the stench that's emanating out of this place. In fact, one of the key observations of the report was how the manufactured cough syrups were placed openly in the corridors of this place, which is very close to the highway. In fact, if you see that side, it's nothing but a highway with thousands of vehicles, and thereby over a period of time the dust accumulated has contributed to contamination of the cough syrup is what we are hearing. That's the kind of glaring lapse that we are talking about. I just want to show you another lapse. There is a container over here to store chemicals where it's very clearly written that this container should be placed in a clean, cold place away from direct sunlight, and yet this container is placed directly under the sun. That's the kind of apathy and indifference in the manufacture of cold reef syrup that we are talking about. What we're also learning is that the equipment that was used in the production of the syrup was just rusty, not updated, not cleaned at all. Very, very unhygienic is what we're hearing. Another important portion that was highlighted in the report was the use of diethylene glycol, which is the toxic, lethal industrial solvent that's used in brake fluids that was found in the syrup, pointing out to illegal procurement and gross negligence. In fact, this particular industrial solvent, diethylene glycol, is really not meant for human consumption, and yet this particular solvent was illegally procured by this particular company, mixed in with the syrup, which has resulted in the fatalities of innocent children. In fact, there's also a show cause notice that's been stuck here by Tamil Nadu's Drug Controller Department, where they've clearly asked for invoices and the copy of this particular diethylene glycol drug, because it's really not okay to mix that up with cold reef syrup. And that's why they have sought accountability, giving a time of 5 days from the date of receipt of this show cause notice to the company over here. It has to be all the details that's been sought over here, right from the invoices to the purchase certificate to analysis certificate of raw materials used in the manufacturing of this drug has to be submitted to Tamil Nadu's Drug Controller Unit within the next 5 days. Really, the Tamil Nadu government seeking answers from recent pharmaceuticals for the way in which they've maintained this particular plant, the way in which they've procured illegal industrial solvent, mixed it up inside cold reef that has resulted in the death of 16 innocent children. With camera person Daniel and Aga Keshav reporting for India Today from Kanchipuram. We're reporting from the backside of the killer plant to just give you a glimpse of where the waste gets dumped. This is one of the containers where it's clearly written here, the waste tablets container. It's just openly dumped here. In fact, there are also fillers over here, the drip which is used to drip the cough syrup. It's just openly placed over here. Of course, these are all waste, but just imagine the amount of chemical emanation from this particular spot. In fact, there are also a bunch of construction workers nearby who are working here. जी आप इधर कितना दिन से है, आपको क्या पता है इसके बारे में? वेस्ट को किधर डंप किया जाता है?
देखो इधर क्या होता है वो तो हमको मालूम नहीं है। वो दूसरा काम है, मेरा दूसरा काम है। हम लोग करते हैं। क्या पेपर ऊपर है तो थोड़ा भेस भी आता है तो इधर जला देता है, यही बात है
ऐसे ही ओपन में जला देते हैं?
ना, ओपन में जलाता है।
The waste that gets generated in the plant just gets dumped openly over here. That's just very telling of the kind of lack of responsibility and lack in inventory management on part of this recent pharmaceuticals. The killer plant here that manufactures the killer cough, the cold reef cough that is directly linked to the deaths of children in India. 14 in Rajasthan and 2 in Madhya Pradesh is what we are talking about. And thereby, this particular cough syrup, it has now been banned in Tamil Nadu following the deaths of innocent children. With camera person Daniel Anaga Keshav reporting for India Today from Kanchipuram.
The Tamil Nadu Drugs Control Department has issued a show-cause notice to Sri Sun Pharmaceuticals, the maker of the cold reef cough syrup, directing the company to furnish key details within 5 days. The drug regulator sought details of raw materials, master formula, production data within this timeline. India Today travelled to the manufacturing unit of Sri Sun Pharmaceuticals in Kanchipuram and found the plant lacking basic facilities, qualified staff, proper procedures to ensure product safety.
Have you inspected the plant over here? What are the labs?
Here to serve the show cause notice. That is duty allotted to me. I am in the team. If you want any other details about the investigation, you have to contact my director. Okay.
What does the notice say, ma'am?
Show cause notice.
What does the notice say? What is the content of the show?
Everything detailed in the notice itself. It is stick on there.
Okay. Have you had a chance to inspect the plant? Have you found any lapses
that
in
is
terms of hygiene?
Provided to me.
In a disturbing turn, Rajasthan's Drug Control Department has uncovered that many medicines meant to treat patients are instead endangering their health. An investigation by India Today reveals a troubling pattern. Drug samples are tested, reports are filed, little to no action follows.
Contaminated cough syrup killing children has made headlines. But the truth runs deeper. Every year, millions may be falling victim to counterfeit and substandard drugs. Rajasthan's Drug Control Department has unearthed a trail of shocking findings. Medicines that are meant to heal are in fact harming patients. When India Today examined the department's working, it found labs conducting tests, report being filed, but no action taken. The list is long and disturbing. Antibiotics. 6 batches failed. Over 1 lakh tablets from MediRich Limited were sold before detection. Steroids saw 3 batches failing. Medivil Biotech sold 30,000 doses. Anti-allergics saw 4 batches failing. Theravin formulation sold 35,000 units. Anti-diabetics saw 3 batches failing. Relief Biotech sold 18,000 tablets. 3 batches of painkillers failed. Ipca Laboratories sold 20,000 of them. 8 batches of supplements failed. FE Parenteral sold 40,000 units. Antacids saw 3 batches failing, of which 15,000 units were sold by Aristo Pharma. And 2 batches of cardiac drugs failed, out of which MX Pharma sold 10,000 tablets. So from stomachache pills to ear drops, from injectables to vitamin syrups, some had missing salts, others were infected fluids.
6 सैंपल आया है, 6 सैंपल का नेगेटिव, 1 सैंपल है, 6 सैंपल आए थे, सबका हुआ है, एंड वी आर स्टिल टेकिंग. इसका ही नहीं, बाकी भी सारे लिक्विड फॉर्मुलेशंस का फील्ड में हम सैंपल ले ही रहे हैं. इट इज एन ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस. और जब भी अगर हमें ऐसा कोई मिलेगा, विल इन्फॉर्म यू इफ यू फाइंड एनीथिंग अबनॉर्मल.
ये कंपनी आगे सप्लाई करेगी अब या कब से करेगी?
ये आरएमएसएल का लुकआउट है, पर जो हमें बताया गया है कि आरएमएसएल इज पुट ऑन होल्ड 19 फॉर्मुलेशंस जो एक कंपनी बनाता है. उसके आगे क्या करना है वो दे विल टेक अ कॉल.
By law, every failed sample must lead to a court case. By rule, every report must be escalated to the Central Drug Laboratory in Kolkata for a nationwide ban. But none of that happened. Instead, reports gathered dust until the state's drug controller himself was suspended.
ये राष्ट्रीय स्तर के ऊपर हमारी ये जो सूचना है वो DCGI को भी भिजवाते हैं। वहाँ से हमारे जो ग्रुप्स बना है रेगुलेटरी का, उसके मार्फत से इमीडिएटली कोई भी दवाई अगर स्पूरियस डिक्लेयर हुई है या एडल्ट्रेशन उसके अंदर पाया गया है तो हमारे ग्रुप में सर्कुलेट हो जाता है और उस बेसिस के ऊपर सभी जगह पे कार्रवाई एक साथ हो जाती है इसके।
There's hardly any disease left for which fake or substandard medicines have not been caught. Yet the government response remains slow and fragmented. By the time a ban is imposed, lakhs have already swallowed the risk. So while we worry about contaminated cough syrups, the truth is the problem is much bigger. From antibiotics to painkillers, fake medicines are finding their way to your cabinet. And until India fixes its drug control system, every pill could be a potential gamble with life. With Sharat Kumar in Jaipur, Bureau Report, India Today.